This is what I got a lot of requests from, surprisingly enough. Probably high up there for some of Traumathon's most requested. Happy Tree Friends. A short animated cartoon series made by Aubrey Ankrum, Rode Montijo, and Ken Navarro. I first saw the show on G4 TV back when they had this thing called the Midnight Spank. God, gaming culture in the 2000s was cringy and stupid, mainly because the people who made content for gamers were middle-aged assholes who thought they knew what gamers were like. Oh yeah, they're just basement-dwelling dweebs, right? Yeah, just put up a bunch of sex and make sexual innuendos. They'll watch it. Anyways, on the Midnight Spank, oh Jesus. On the Midnight Spank, which literally did air at 12 AM, they would show a bunch of stuff relating to sex and violence, stuff they'd normally not show in the day, splashed with actual entertaining shows like Brainiac or Ninja Warrior. And I'm talking about Sasuke, by the way, not that American knockoff Ninja Warrior bullshit. Among the shows, though, were Happy Tree Friends, and holy shit, I was so shocked by what I saw. Granted, by the time Happy Tree Friends came out, I was in between the age where I thought cartoons were for kids and still loved them, you know? Like, you still watch cartoons, but everyone around you thought it was lame and stupid, so you never told anyone that you still watched Edda and Eddie, even though it was perfectly fine. Fuck, kids suck. Anyways, Happy Tree Friends was something I was in love with. The things they did to these cute little critters were brutal, and if you don't know what it's all about, well, it's a cartoon show featuring woodland creatures who are very cutely designed and are shown doing awful things due to unfortunate circumstances. Well, that's about as kind as you can say it. Most, if not all, the characters per episode were mutilated beyond recognition and killed brutally. It's really unwarranted too. Most of the time, like, they could just be spinning on a merry-go-round, or, as the British would say, roundabout, and they'd get fucking eviscerated. Why the fuck is there a jumbo plane next to the park? Yeah, whatever. Who cares? It's comedy. It's a cartoon. I guess it's weird that so many people recommended this to me, only because I personally never was traumatized by this. I just thought the show was really funny. Though I'm sure if you accidentally saw this show on Netflix, for example, thinking it was just an innocent TV series about cute animals going on little adventures, yeah, I could see where the scars would start forming. I will say this though, as funny as I think this show is now, it was really hard to watch some of these segments. Like, there was one segment where Lumpy the Moose went on a hiking trip or something like that, and he got his leg trapped under a tree, and try as he might, he just couldn't get it off. Ultimately, he decides to chop off his leg and set himself free, and holy shit, this is really, really brutal to watch, and it leads to the most painful punchline of the whole episode. Yes, he chopped off the wrong leg. And then he's got to do it all over again. The sheer agony he goes through just to set himself free, only to have to do it all over again. Fuck, man, like, it's horrible, but we little shits, we sadists, we just love that shit. We're from the edgy attitude era of the 90s, you know? We heard that Stone Cold Steve Austin music playing in our heads all the time, and we adored it. It's actually funny looking back at the show's origins, because it all started out one day when Rode Montijo, or Montijo, I don't know, one of the show's creators, drew one of the characters with an ominous phrase, "Resistance is futile," written underneath. From what I gather, he was interning at Mondo Media, so he put that up on the fridge in order for everyone to be sort of, you know, drawn in by that drawing of his. Mondo Media took notice. Many of the producers liked the idea, some of them didn't, but in the end, they were able to finally get the show on the road in the late 90s. Yes, you heard me. This show started in 1999. Granted, the pilot started in 1999, which, by the way, is incredibly funny. Like, check it out. It's just like 18 seconds of glorious, gratuitous violence. It's awesome. And yes, this is what launched Happy Tree Friends into the stratosphere. Apparently, when the first episode came out, the website that hosted the series had over 15 million hits, and it just kept growing and growing as each episode came out. Eventually, the series grew large enough years later that it was converted into a TV show once it found success on G4 TV. Not much really changed with the TV version aside from the quality drastically changing, the frame rate being a lot smoother, and the lines being a lot cleaner, but it was made using Flash, so it wasn't that hard to make. And I do remember at the time, Flash was kind of looked down on for a little while during that time, probably because of the rise of Newgrounds and just how easy it is to make a cartoon with it, but honestly, Happy Tree Friends always looked really clean and well made, so it never really fit these stereotypes that people who hated Flash often complained about. It seldom cut corners, and really it didn't have to, due to the fact that each episode at the time were only about a few minutes long, 5 to 7 minutes so. This kept the cost of the production low and freedom of creativity high. Also, as an added bonus of being made in Flash, each episode that was made back in the early 2000s have now been remade into HD. Nice. So with the series being officially made into a TV show and looking good as shit, the fanbase rocketed to the upper stratosphere. People couldn't get enough of this cartoon, and merch flew off the shelves off every Hot Topic in America. Sorta like those Happy Bunny shirts everyone wore in middle school. Yeah, that was really fucking funny, wasn't it? Anyways. Actually, looking back at this sort of stuff, we kids, man, back in the 2000s, we just had a lot of real stupid and edgy stuff back then. It's sort of what kicked cringe culture into high gear, though honestly, while so many of us consider this sort of content to be cringe and maybe a bit try-hard edgy nowadays, I think that's such an unfair assessment of Happy Tree Friends and content like it. You know what I mean? Cartoons that were edgy and bloody, that subverted expectations. Sure, that shit traumatized us when we were taken by surprise, but if we like it now, is that a problem? I don't know. I'm getting a lot older every day, and a lot of the stuff I love nowadays are just now things that I wished I loved more as a kid. I want to be an edgelord weeaboo in my adult years. It's not like I'm in fucking high school, so nobody's gonna judge me again. And I don't have to give a shit about social hierarchy. I got taxes to do. I ain't got time for that. I make money now, so I can enjoy whatever the fuck I want. And I enjoy Happy Tree Friends, goddammit. Sorry, that was a bit of an episode, sorry. Anyways, Happy Tree Friends grew larger, the fan base got bigger, and it stayed relatively big for years, and it's actually a lot longer than I thought. Before I started researching this video, I could have sworn that the whole show just died around 2009 or 10, but it turns out they made episodes as recently as 2016, though sadly it's said that they underperformed expectations, and as of 2021, no new episodes of Happy Tree Friends have been made since. During its 15 minutes of fame, Mondo Media produced over 130 episodes of Happy Tree Friends, re-releasing most, if not all, of the first season in glorious HD. They also sold a ton of merch, won several awards, and apparently they have a video game. And of course, it's a Lemmings clone. What a shock. Also, there were talks that this show was going to be made into a movie, and I can't imagine how that would have even turned out. First of all, the movie would have been R-rated, guaranteed, and if it wasn't R-rated, then it wouldn't have been a Happy Tree Friends movie. R-rated movies are notorious nowadays for just not making as much as, say, PG-13 movies, so that would have been a big hurdle already. Secondly, it'd be for a very niche audience. Sure, it was a big show, but it's not, say, South Park huge. It was a fad, much like Happy Bunny, and nobody remembers Happy Bunny. Third, nobody fucking talks in this show, like ever. So overall, this would have been a disaster, but the whole movie thing was just a rumor, and nothing really concrete ever came out of it. Ah well, whether you're a sadist or just a curious kid with a scarred life, there's no denying that no one was ever quite as brutal as Happy Tree Friends when it came to the blood, guts, gore, and cute little creatures getting wrecked.